It's Matt Stamp here, interviewing Aaron Green. We have some interview questions here. When did you start doing martial arts and what got you into the study of Tai Chi?
I started doing martial arts when I was roughly 15. Got into Taekwondo and Hapkido and practiced that throughout my teen years. When I was 24, I decided to go to massage school and change careers. Checked out the local martial arts scene where I was going to school in upstate New York. And the most intriguing gentleman that I met was a Yang-style Tai Chi practitioner. After several confrontational conversations, as most martial art meetings go, he began to let me know basically all my hard-style training really didn't have much value when it came to a real fight. Once I got over the not only physical bruises but the ego bruises, I began to train Tai Chi with him. And it really illustrated to me that strength, power, stability doesn't come from any sense of tension or contraction. It actually comes from more relaxation, letting go, and softness. That started my Tai Chi career. Dabbled a bit with Chen style when I was in Portland with Gregory Fong, but not much. Then various Yang style teachers dabbled here and there. Didn't really start training Tai Chi intensely until I met my teacher Bruce Francis, and it's been ongoing ever since then. So that's been about 15 years now.
What style of Tai Chi Chuan do you teach, and can you talk some about it?
I teach the Wu style Tai Chi from Bruce Francis. It's a smaller style. It's more compact. It's basically the same form as the Yang, but we just do it in a much smaller space. And it focuses more on internal alignments, things that are happening underneath the skin, rather than large, gross movements. It has more subtle, smaller movements, but the main focus is to get things underneath the skin moving. It also focuses really, really specifically on making sure that the spine is as open and straight and functional as possible.
And we just did some pushing. some push hands. Do you want to talk about the way you guys teach your push hands or your concepts that you're working with?
We use push hands more as a feedback mechanism rather than a specific training tool for fighting like it was traditionally. With push hands, you get to work on these internal concepts, these internal skills I was mentioning, and you get instant feedback. Either you have that skill and you're manifesting it, you're allowing it to happen, you're making it happen, or you're not. And when somebody is in front of you giving you some feedback, you know instantly whether you have it or not. There's no guesswork. We also use it as a medium to really start exploring what's going on inside of a human being. There's things that come up when you actually get in front of another human being and you know, interact with them. What are those things? Have you explored them? Have you made them conscious? And are those the things that you want to have in your life? And if not, these are some tools that you can use to change. So basically we use it as a self-awareness exercise, a partner exercise.
All right, cut. You've been teaching abroad. What are you finding people are more interested in?
I'm actually getting quite the varied group. I'm getting everybody from martial artists who want to develop more of that stuff I was talking about. I'm getting actually a big group of meditators that are looking for a physical component to smooth out and ease their nervous systems and reduce all the stress and tension so that they can take their meditations deeper. And I'm getting quite a large group of folks that are just looking to mitigate that daily stress that comes from modern living.
Who are some of the people you have trained with, and which masters do you feel really have it?
The two that come to mind are, one is Mark Rasmus. I've done some training with him. He's a guy out of Thailand. I brought him in. And as far as fighting goes, he's really got something. He's got something unique. He works on what he calls his elastic force training. And it's just really getting, your body soft enough to become very elastic, and then using those elastic qualities in various confrontations. Plus, also, he's just a heck of a nice guy. And then my primary teacher, Bruce Francis, can't express in words the impact that he's had on me, my training, and my students. And yeah, with Bruce, not only the fighting, but also the meditative and the health aspects all in one package. And I just really appreciate his clarity and his forthrightness. It's just, there's no holding back. It's, you ask for what you ask for, and then he gives it to you. And it's very clear and very, very precise.
Please talk about your mission and goals with Applied Energy Arts.
Bruce Francis is my teacher. His website and his organization is called Energy Arts. That's where he teaches all of his material. I'm certified in all of his courses, and I've named my organization Applied Energy Arts. Bruce has got immense amount of material out there, DVDs, books, online training programs, but nothing quite can match having a live teacher give you instant feedback about all those little details that come from training, what I would consider subtle material. That's the role of Applied Energy Arts. That how do you take all that information, all that great knowledge about, you know, the human body and the mind and the emotions, and then how do you apply that to your life? How do you use that to make your life better?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How does your energy work translate to craniosacral and tui-na work you're doing?
Just how does rocket fuel make the rocket work? I'll have to say, throughout, and I've had a varied bodywork career, usually with bodyworkers and any healthcare practitioners that use their hands, the energy is either in your hands or it's not. And the Tai Chi, the Qigong, and the Neigongs really give you clear and scientific and precise ways to make sure that that energy is in your hands, and also how to protect yourself when you're dealing with clients on a very subtle yet intimate basis, how to make sure that you don't burn out in the long run. That has been actually the biggest takeaway from the practices. Than you'll ever be. There we go. And now we just play with that rotation. A little softer. Is that making sense to you? And then you actually get into the fluid aspect of it. That's what's missing. Notice how that creates all these nice nifty little tension patterns up through your arm. Okay. Or is it just a basic open and close that you need? If I hold this bone steady, can I pull the tissue and then there's the actual joint opening.
Since you've been teaching Qigong, what is the most surprising thing that you've gotten from the experience?
The most surprising thing that I've noticed teaching people how to do Qigong and internal movements is how poorly people relate to the inside of themselves. They seem to save the most vicious venom for themselves when they make mistakes. They actually treat strangers with more kindness and understanding and compassion than they do actually what's inside of them. That is a thread that I try and put into all my classes, workshops, and retreats, is that a lot of Qigong training is about how you relate to yourself and how you create a dynamic and yet balanced relationship to what's going on inside of your body, what's going on inside of your mind, what's going on inside of your heart. And that has been the biggest surprise, is as I look around classes, beautiful, sweet, wonderful people, well then, when it comes time to them to treat themselves on the inside, will just beat themselves up. Everything from vicious, like you can almost see them talking to themselves like a really rough, bullied high school coach or a drill instructor, right up to like almost dictatorship, where their body has just been beat into submission. And as far as like being a human being in this planet, I don't find that that's very valuable. And that's one thread that I try and fit into everything that I do. I've got various opportunities to study with me. I'm starting a monthly metronome. It's going to be a Saturday all day long workshop. Each month I'm going to go through one of the 16 Neigong parts, one of the internal skills that Bruce teaches. I'm going to teach you one small little movement that can be the container, and then depending on whatever style, you can take that internal skill, whether it's how to align your skeleton or how to open and close your joints or move tissue. You can take that skill and then put it into whatever practice that you have currently. That way you don't have to learn a whole new practice. That's going to be going on every Saturday starting in December. I'm going to have a week-long retreat in Wales, United Kingdom in March, and I'm looking into a weekend in Vancouver, British Columbia, looking at the middle of February for that, and then the end of February I should be in Virginia Beach teaching a weekend on Qigong. So my website is appliedenergyarts.com. Feel free to go and check that. I keep that updated, and sign up for the newsletter, and hope to get to train with you soon.